Hey, what's up guys? Level Up here at OnPointGaming's OnPointTactical, and today we are looking at the M16A4 assault rifle in Battlefield 4. Now, if you'll remember, the M16A3 was kind of overpowered. It was the tryhard gun of Battlefield 3, the best one. I've given up on the 416 being the best one in BF3. It's the M16A3 in Battlefield 3 all the way. But there was also the M16A4, which was the burst version of the same gun, and this time the burst version is the only one that made it into the vanilla. I think that's a good thing. Now, honestly, not a lot of people liked it in Battlefield 3 just because of the way that its recoil pattern works. It can be a little tricky to control at times, but you know, I think that the burst mechanics are a lot more solid in Battlefield 4, and its stats prove that. So let's go ahead and look at those stats. The M16A4 sports a maximum damage of 25 through about 5 meters, and drops off to 18 damage at about 29-30 meters, which is not very far, but I'm looking at Simthic, and I mean, they very well could have gotten it wrong, but honestly I don't think that it is, because the average engagement distance in Battlefield 4 is far decreased from Battlefield 3. The fire rate is 800 rounds per minute, but you have to get those intervals perfect to experience that. Otherwise, you are just going to shoot those 3 rounds at 800 rounds a minute, or the equivalent of. The muzzle velocity is 650 meters per second, and the bullet drop is 15 meters a second. I don't know how you're supposed to calculate that. No one really cares. The magazine size is 30 plus 1 rounds, which is standard, and it sports the same reload times that it did in Battlefield 3. This is where I think this gun is going to make some ground back. 1.8 second short reload and 2.37 seconds on a long reload. That is insanely quick. Even for the long reload, some guns aren't going to get a short reload done within that time period. So to have a gun that you know you can get entirely reloaded within that time period is fantastic. It has the same recoil pattern as the M16A3 in Battlefield 3 as well. 0.1 left, 0.4 right, with a recoil decrease per second of 18 and a first shot recoil multiplier of 2.5. Now, the vertical recoil has been upped from 0.28 to 0.34, but that's to be expected as it is a burst gun. The spread is 0.2, which is standard. You could theoretically decrease that with a heavy barrel, but dadgum, the recoil of this gun would be so high at that point that you would basically just have no hope trying to use it whatsoever. So, I'm gonna be entirely honest. I was kind of dreading this experience with the M16A4. I had played with it roughly a week ago. I had gotten that far using the M416, and but I decided to switch over to carbines, and I played with it for a little bit and absolutely hated it. Like, I was at that point where I was like, man, they've killed off the M16. I was kind of getting excited, but then I was like, well, but the M16 has served such a role in the Battlefield franchise that you know, it's kind of sad to see it go. Then I soon realized that, well, they patched the reloading system. And I was like, well, you know, that was like one of the main reasons that we used it in Battlefield 3 was that really short reload time. So I strapped back in, and I'm glad that I did, because this footage right here is the first time that I was back with the gun since I put it down a week ago. And I'm not joking, like, this was exactly the first round, like, boots on the ground, run right over here toward this rock, and this is what happened. And you can see that I'm taking advantage of that reload time, reloading after almost every kill, because you basically have time to reload whenever you need to. It's fantastic. And the angled foregrip makes it actually really controllable in burst fire increments. Oh, I'm going to apologize for this clip here. The ammo guy took a while to realize that I needed bullets, just like every other ammo guy. So, I was honestly shocked that I liked it, But then the more I thought about it, I wasn't shocked because I mean, maybe DICE realized that they needed this gun to serve a role in Battlefield 4 or else people were going to be slightly disappointed. Now, it sort of fills the void that the M16A4 did in Battlefield 3. And that is sort of a gap where not a lot of people are going to use it, which is a good thing because that means we're not going to see too much of the M16 again. But I've been using the M4 to get used to the burst fire mechanics in Battlefield 4, and by the way, they're much improved versus Battlefield 3's. They were a little iffy, I guess would be a good word for those. But anyway, I knew that it was going to be more accurate and have less recoil probably than the M4. I haven't looked at the recoil or accuracy of the M4, but because it has a longer barrel, it stands to reason that it would be a more accurate gun than the M4. But it's a good thing that they brought it back, but it's a good thing that they didn't bring it back too hard. I'm running the reflex sight here with the laser sight and also the folding foregrip. Everybody by default should have the folding foregrip. That was like one of the first items that we got in one of the first battle packs, and I'm pretty darn sure that that certain battle pack was given to everybody. I think it was like one of the first like complimentary battle packs, or I don't know exactly what the deal was, but I know that I had the folding foregrip before I even unlocked the M416. I had it unlocked for the M16A4, so that should kind of put it into perspective of how quickly you unlock it. And I would definitely recommend checking this gun out. It takes a skill set, but if you get it down, you can rip people up with this thing. Same with the M4, but more so with the M16A4 because it's more accurate in longer range engagements, which means that you could theoretically pull off using a medium distance sight. I wouldn't say that that would be a fantastic decision because pretty much every engagement distance in Battlefield 4 has been decreased from Battlefield 3 to the point where those medium range sights are almost useless. Like seriously, they're at that point where they're basically useless unless you're running a DMR or sniper rifle. So let me know what you guys think about DICE bringing back the M16A4 in its own form from Battlefield 3. They brought it back, but not too heavy. Do you agree that they didn't bring it back too heavy? Maybe you think that they did bring it back too heavy. Maybe they did bring it back too heavy. I wouldn't know. To me, it feels like it is going to be that weapon that takes skill, but not too much of it, and not a lot of people are going to use it. I think most people are going to prefer the M416 and the AEK. So can it compete with these two assault rifles? Absolutely, if you have the right skill set. Recoil management is a huge thing, but you'll just have to get used to it. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. I'm LevelUp here at OnPointGaming's OnPointTactical. Looks like Google is sort of working on that comment system, so feel free to shoot me a comment anytime you like. Have a good one, and take it easy, guys.